Let me say something that might shock you. When a woman really likes a man, she doesn't always make it obvious. In fact, a lot of the time, she does the complete opposite. She'll act confusing, indirect, or even pretend she doesn't care, all while secretly hoping you notice her feelings. That's the messy truth. Men often assume that if a woman likes them, she'll just say it, show it, or make it obvious. But that's not how women usually work. Attraction for us, women, is vulnerable. It's risky. We don't want to put our feelings out there and look desperate, rejected, or like we're chasing. So instead, we send signals, we test, and we behave in ways that, if you don't understand women, can feel like games. But here's what most men don't realize. They're not always games. Sometimes it's nerves, sometimes it's fear, and sometimes it's just the way we're wired to protect ourselves emotionally. That's why so many men miss the signs, or worse, misread them, and blow their chances completely. Here's what you need to know. When a woman secretly likes you, she treats you differently than every other guy. Even if she tries to hide it, it shows up. In her body language, in the way she talks to you, and even in the way she pretends not to care. If you don't know how to see it, you'll think she's uninterested. But in reality, she's doing everything in her power to keep her feelings under control. So, in this video series, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how women behave around the men they secretly like. Some of this might surprise you. Some of it might make you rethink past situations. And some of it might sting, because the truth isn't always flattering. But once you understand it, you'll never look at a woman's behavior the same way again. 1. She gets nervous around you. When a woman secretly likes a man, one of the clearest but most misunderstood signs is nervousness. Men often expect confidence. They think, if she's into me, she'll be bold, flirty, and forward. But in reality, a lot of women get awkward. Our bodies give us away before we even open our mouths. Picture this. She's usually confident with everyone else, laughing loudly, carrying herself like she's in control. But around you, suddenly her words stumble. She plays with her hair. She taps her foot. She laughs at the wrong time. It's not that she's uninterested. It's that you throw her off balance. That's what attraction does. When we actually care about what you think, we get in our heads. We worry about saying the wrong thing, looking silly, or making it obvious that we're drawn to you. So instead of acting smooth, we act nervous. And the irony? Men often misread this as disinterest. Think about it. If she didn't like you, she wouldn't care at all. She'd be relaxed, natural, maybe even indifferent. Nervous energy comes from caring too much, not too little. Now, not every woman shows it the same way. Some get giggly and playful, almost like a schoolgirl crush. Others go quiet, reserved, and seem off compared to how they are with others. Both are rooted in the same feeling. You affect her more than she wants you to know. So if you notice her fidgeting, stumbling over her words, or acting different around you compared to other men, don't dismiss it. That's a sign of attraction she's trying and failing to hide. 2. Her attention becomes selective. One of the biggest giveaways of secret attraction is selective attention. Women can be social, warm, and friendly with everyone. But when we secretly like a man, the way we focus our attention changes. She might act casual, like you're just another guy in the room. But watch closely. She'll notice things about you that others don't. She'll remember details you mentioned weeks ago. She'll pick up on your mood, your tone, even subtle changes in your behavior. That kind of selective awareness doesn't happen with men we don't care about. Here's what's really happening. When a woman likes you, you take up space in her mental world. Even if she's trying to play it cool, she's tuned into you. If you post something online, she sees it. If you change your haircut, she notices. If you're quieter than usual, she senses it. This doesn't mean she'll openly shower you with attention. In fact, many women do the opposite. They'll pull back so it's not obvious, but that selective focus is still there. She's filtering you out from the rest of the noise because you matter more. So pay attention not to how much attention she gives you, but how different it is. A woman who secretly likes you may give you less attention publicly, but more subtle signals privately. She might act like she's ignoring you, but her eyes keep finding you across the room. Or she might pretend she's uninterested, but she laughs at things you say even when no one else does. Either way, that selective focus is her way of balancing attraction with self-protection. She doesn't want to look too eager, but she also can't stop paying attention. And that internal conflict, that's what makes her seem mysterious, complicated, or hard to read. When you see it clearly, though, you'll realize it's not confusion. It's attraction in disguise. Third, she finds subtle ways to test you. This is where a lot of men get frustrated, because testing can feel confusing, unfair, even manipulative. But let me clear this up right now. When a woman secretly likes you, she will test you. Not to play games, but to feel safe. Attraction makes us vulnerable, and vulnerability for women is scary. If we're going to open up to a man emotionally, we need to know he's steady, confident, and emotionally grounded. And the only way we can figure that out, often unconsciously, is by testing. The test can be subtle. She might tease you just to see how you react. She might bring up another guy's name casually to gauge your confidence. She might go a little distant one day to see if you chase or stay calm. These aren't manipulations. They're emotional checkpoints. They're our way of asking, can I trust this man with my emotions? See, a woman's emotional safety isn't built on words. It's built on your consistency. And testing is how she finds out if your confidence is real or just a front. Here's the trick. If you understand what's happening, you'll stop taking tests personally. You'll stop reacting with frustration or insecurity. You'll realize every test is an opportunity. Every time she tests you, she's essentially saying, are you strong enough for me to relax around? Can you stay calm when I push your buttons? Can I lean into you emotionally without you losing your balance? If you fail, by getting defensive, jealous, or needy, she pulls back. If you pass, by staying grounded, playful, and unbothered, her attraction deepens, and that's the part most men never see. Because women don't test men we don't care about. If she's testing you, it means you matter. The question is, will you handle it like a boy seeking validation, or like a man who already knows his worth? When you understand that her tests are rooted in curiosity and protection, not manipulation, you'll stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them as open doors, because that's what they are. A woman's subtle way of asking, can I trust you with me? 4. The power of subtle teasing. If you want to keep a woman thinking about you long after the conversation ends, you need to master the art of subtle teasing. Teasing isn't about being mean. It's not about putting her down or showing dominance. It's about creating playful tension. Think of it like a magnetic pull. You tug just enough to make her lean in, but never so hard that it breaks. Women are naturally drawn to men who can challenge them playfully. A little clever teasing says a lot about you. It shows confidence, self-assurance, and emotional control. It tells her you're not intimidated, you're not desperate for her approval, and you're comfortable enough to have fun with her energy. Here's an example. Let's say she tells you she's terrible at cooking. Most guys respond with something predictable like, oh, that's okay. I'll teach you, but you? You smirk and say, good to know. I'll keep you far away from my kitchen then. Now you've created a spark. It's playful, it makes her laugh, and it shows you're confident enough to joke with her, not just around her. The beauty of teasing is that it plants seeds of curiosity. She'll replay the moment later thinking, why did he say that? Does he actually like me? What did he mean by that smile? That's attraction. That's emotional momentum. Because now she's thinking about you. But here's the golden rule. Balance it with genuine warmth. Tease too much and she'll feel dismissed. Tease too little and the spark dies. The key is rhythm. One step back, one step forward. A playful tease followed by a genuine smile, compliment, or moment of real interest. That combination, challenge and care, is what creates chemistry. When you can make her laugh and feel safe in the same breath, you become unforgettable. And remember this. Teasing works because it mirrors flirtation itself. It's not serious, it's not heavy, it's light, mysterious, and emotionally charged. Done right, teasing makes her feel both challenged and desired. And that mix? That's the sweet spot where attraction grows naturally, without forcing it. 5. The mystery of emotional restraint. Now this next part is critical, and it's where most men unintentionally kill attraction before it even starts. They overshare, they overexplain, they give away their entire emotional world within a few conversations. While honesty is important, early emotional oversharing destroys mystery, and mystery is one of the strongest forces in attraction. When a man holds a little bit back, not to play games but because he's grounded, he creates depth. He makes her wonder, what's going on in his mind? What's his story? What else don't I know about him? That curiosity keeps her hooked. It gives her something to discover. If you give her everything too soon, there's nothing left for her imagination to build on. And trust me, a woman's imagination is your greatest ally in attraction. Now, emotional restraint doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means selective openness. You don't have to hide your emotions. You just need to know when and how much to reveal. For example, if she asks about your past relationships, you don't need to pour your heart out about every breakup or betrayal. Instead, you might say something like, I've learned a lot from my past. It made me stronger and more focused on what I want. That's confident. It's intriguing, and it leaves her wanting to know more. The same applies to how often you text or respond. If you reply instantly to every message, if you're constantly reassuring her or seeking her validation, you shift the power dynamic. You move from being the man she's curious about to the man she already understands completely. And when there's no mystery left, there's no tension. And without tension, attraction fades. A secure man doesn't rush to fill every silence. He doesn't need to prove himself. He lets her discover who he is over time. And that gradual discovery is what keeps her invested. The less you reveal at first, the more her imagination fills in the blanks. And often what she imagines is even more powerful than reality. Keep her curious, and she'll keep chasing. 6th, subtle signals. Women. Drop. Here's something most men never realize. When a woman secretly likes you, she rarely says it outright. Instead, she drops hints, signals, and tiny clues that only a man who's paying close attention will notice. And the sad truth? Most men miss them completely. It might be the way she teases you over small things just to see how you react, or how she laughs a little harder at your jokes than anyone else, even when they're not that funny. Sometimes it's as simple as her finding little excuses to text you. A random meme. A question she could have Googled herself. A message that says nothing important. But it's really her way of keeping the conversation alive. That's her saying, without saying it, I want to be in your orbit. Another major one, body language. If she leans in when you talk, touches her hair, or keeps eye contact longer than usual, that's her body revealing what her words won't. Women rarely do these things consciously. They're natural reactions when we feel drawn to someone. But here's a deeper layer most men overlook. Micro-jealousy. If she gets a little quiet when you mention another girl, if she suddenly becomes curious about who you were with, or lightly teases you about someone else, that's not indifference. That's interest wrapped in denial. Women don't get jealous over men they feel nothing for. Jealousy, even in tiny doses, is a sign she's emotionally invested. But here's where men mess it up. They either ignore these signs, or they pounce too hard the moment they sense interest. The right move? Acknowledge the signals without chasing them. Stay calm. Stay playful. Meet her halfway, not headfirst. Because when you respond with relaxed confidence instead of eagerness, you confirm what she already suspects, that you're the kind of man who doesn't crumble under emotion. And that's the energy that makes her lean in even deeper. 7. Don't blow it by overcompensating. Don't blow it by. Now let's talk about the part where most men lose it. The overcompensation phase. When a man finally realizes a woman likes him, he often flips into prove myself mode. He starts texting more, chasing harder, sending long messages, giving constant compliments, or trying to secure her attention. He thinks he's doing the right thing, but what he's really doing is killing the spark. Here's why. When a woman starts liking you, it's not just about what you do, it's about how you are. She was drawn to your natural confidence, your relaxed energy, the way you focused on your own life instead of bending over backward for her. But the moment you discover she likes you and start acting differently, you break that balance. You shift from magnetic to available, from confident to eager, from centered to chasing. And that change, even if subtle, is what makes her lose attraction. Think of it like this. Attraction thrives in tension, not in comfort. She wants to feel like she has your attention, but she doesn't want to feel like she's your entire focus. If every move you make revolves around her, you send one message loud and clear. You need her approval, and women can sense that instantly. It's one of the biggest desire killers there is. So what should you do instead? Simple. Stay consistent with who you were before you knew she liked you. Keep your rhythm. Stay focused on your goals, your growth, your purpose. Yes, show her attention. Yes, flirt. Connect. Be present. But never at the cost of your self-respect or your routine. Because here's a powerful truth. Women don't fall for men who chase them endlessly. They fall for men they fear losing. When you hold your ground, when you're interested but not consumed, you become the rare kind of man who makes her invest too. And that's the real secret. When she starts investing, her feelings deepen. When she has to earn parts of your time and attention, she values it more. Remember, the men who win women's hearts aren't the ones who give the most. They're the ones who give the right energy, confidence, purpose, calm leadership. That's what she can't resist. 8. The final truth, how to handle her interest. Let's bring it all together. When a woman secretly likes you, she'll reveal it, just not in the obvious direct way you expect. She'll show it in the way she fumbles her words, in how she remembers small details, in how she tests your reactions, in how she teases, withdraws, or quietly gets jealous. But here's the catch. What you do with that information matters more than noticing it. Most men either miss the signs completely, or once they realize she's interested, they lose their edge trying to make something happen. The truth is simple but hard to swallow. Women are not drawn to men who make them their world. They're drawn to men who already have a world and invite them into it. It's about presence, not performance. Balance, not obsession. Confidence, not control. So here's the one takeaway I want you to remember. If you lose yourself the moment a woman likes you, she'll stop liking you. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel like she's chosen by a man who could stand on his own. Not a man who collapses at the first sign of affection. So instead of asking, does she like me? Start asking, am I the kind of man she can like, without me changing who I am? That's the mindset that keeps attraction alive. Naturally. Conclusion. Here's the raw truth. A woman's attraction isn't logical. It's emotional. And emotions respond to energy, not effort. You don't have to be the richest, the best looking, or the most charming man in the room. You just have to understand her emotional language. When you can read her subtle signals, stay calm when she tests you, and remain confident without trying too hard. You stop being just another guy she talks to. You become the man she feels, the man she can't quite figure out, but can't stop thinking about. And that's what true attraction is. Not about chasing her, not about proving your worth, but about being grounded enough for her to feel safe revealing hers. So now that you know how women act when they secretly like you, look back. Think about the times you misread a situation, or thought she didn't care. Maybe now, you'll see the truth differently. And if you have a story or experience like that, drop it in the comments. Let's decode it together. Because the more you understand women's signals, the sharper your instincts become. And the easier it gets to attract and keep the kind of woman who truly values you. This is Female Code Unlocked. And remember, understanding women isn't about control. It's about awareness. The more you see clearly, the less you chase blindly.